Namato Ratana Tayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening. So today is, what's going on? Okay, so today is 9th of Wednesday, the 9th of September 2020, and this is Achan Sujan from Warapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. So you may find a little bit different today. I'm trying a new program, and that's why it's taking me a little longer to come online. Okay. So I hope that you're all having a wonderful time, a wonderful moment. I feel using this new technology finding it difficult. Okay. Right. So apologies for my delay and also apologies for any inconvenience. So I'm just learning this new ways of giving a talk, and then I found a little uncomfortable. I felt like more comfortable using a mobile phone and straight away on live. But anyway, I hope you're hearing me well, hearing me, my voice properly. So today again, I will be focusing on the same theme of the ongoing continuous talk, and that is on the basis of the first discourse of the Buddha, the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. And so far I have discussed on different aspects of it, and working on the Eightfold Noble Path, the sixth factor, that's the right effort. And this right effort, again, as I have said, it's divided into 4 sections. That is prevention, and abandonment, abandon, and development, and the last one is maintenance. And last night I discussed on the third aspect of it, that is the development. And in that development, we can see that how important it is to develop, and that development only happens once we have made our right decision to go on with that. And other times, in order to go into the right path, we have to have a right understanding of the path that we've been following. Otherwise, we would not be able to go onto the right path. So the right path, again, development, I mentioned yesterday that we have to develop the 4 Brahma Viharas, and as well as the 7 factors of enlightenment. And I mentioned briefly on these 2 aspects of it, why these are important, and how it helps us to establish ourselves and appreciate ourselves. Further on, with that in mind, not just establishing ourselves or so-called self-compassion and loving oneself and appreciating on self and appreciating every little good things that we have done. We have to further on to the spiritual gain, and that is the liberation or the enlightenment. And as a result, and I mentioned the seven factors of enlightenment. It's called the Bojjhangas, and which is a very important factors, an important part of the training. And that Bojjhanga is the first and the Bojjhanga itself means the factors and that leads to the enlightenment. And here, forget about the enlightenment and think about your own life and the success in your life. Anyone when you find ways to success to something or achieve something, and we need to be very mindful of what we are going to do and what is the reason behind the motivation of doing that. And that's why the first factor in the Bojjhanga is a sati, which means the mindfulness, or that mindfulness basically means ability to be mindful of our motivation in the past and as well as now and near future. And this is why in our life, doesn't matter what we do, we need to be very clear that why I wanted to do and what is the reason behind it I wanted to do. And in order to have this right judgment or a right conclusion that why you want to do and what is the reason behind you want to do, so you have to spend a lot of time investigating, wisely investigating on that what is the reason behind that you want to do that. And that is known as the Dhamma Vichaya. Yeah? Dhamma Vichaya, or the investigation, wisely investigating on the teachings or on the subject that you are going to do. Basically, you are juggling between a good and a bad, or success and unsuccessful, or spending time to investigate throughout what's going on the subject of the desire that you have, and your plans and your motivation and things. So all you are being mindful of that and having an investigation on that particular thing. And basically in that moment, you will be able to know that whether that is good or not, whether that is bad or whether that is beneficial or not. If that's not beneficial, what should be done? If that's beneficial, what should be done? So these things, you need to be aware of that. And you're investigating by analyzing, or in that case, you may need some supports from other people, other family members, other partners, in order to make a right decision. But again, when you are listening your partners or your friends or your family members, you're simply accumulating the information about the subject. They cannot help you to make a decision. That's you have to make a decision. And once you have investigated properly, wise investigation, and you know that this needs to be give it away, and this needs to be abandoned, this needs to be eradicated on the path to the success, and this needs to be developed, this needs to be done, and you know what is good and what is bad. Now Buddha didn't stop here only knowing good and bad. Buddha encouraged further on the path, and that is known as a virya. Yeah? So you have to work, you have to strive, and only then there is possibility of happiness and joy. But if you just have a mindset of thinking of this and that, and then this is good, that is bad, and you should be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. Only talking doesn't make any difference. And I have seen so many people, and so many people that they have got a very good ideas, they have got a very good plans. They give you very detailed plan of what should be done, what shouldn't be doing, and these things you should be doing, and it will brings happiness, it will brings a success in your life. But they never do it. They don't have the stamina or the patience enough to do it. And as a result of that, it's just become a part of a chat rather than a real plan, and they cannot get the successful. Doesn't matter how clever that person is, and doesn't matter how well knowledgeable that person is. Just having a plan is not enough. You have to work. You have to put in effort. I remember when I was in Thailand, one of my teachers who's living in Bangkok now in Wat Bawon, he once said to me that the work teaches you, but before you go into the work, you have to think properly. And once you go into the work, then the work will teach you how to do it gradually, and you will learn itself. So it's like you are reading a book how to cook, but you never did it by yourself. Then doesn't matter how delicious that food is that you imagine, you never taste it, you never experienced it. So with this, that's the reason why you need to do it by yourself. So effort is here. And here in the effort section, after we have investigated what is good, we put an effort to do it better. After we have investigated what is not good, we have to prevent and then eliminate or abandon it. And this is what it happens. Basically, it's a chance that you have. It's a choice that you have. You can do it. And it's all based on your action. You choose. Your choice. Whether it's good or bad. And once you have chosen and you have fully committed on that and you're working with it, what happens? You will get joy. You will get happiness out of the right thing that you have been doing, a right thing that you have done. And this right thing is not just beneficial for yourself, but also beneficial for others. And as well as every action that you're doing is beneficial for both parties. So there is saying that if you're working only for your own benefit, then that's not good enough. That's too selfish. That won't give you a happiness. It doesn't matter how wealthy you become. In the meantime, if you're sacrificing too much for others' sake, others' happiness, but never think of your own, then again, that's not good enough. That won't bring happiness. That won't bring satisfaction. So it needs to be the satisfaction for both, benefit for both. You're not losing your benefit, and then also you're not being cruel to others. It's called and that's how you will get the joy and happiness. And with this joy and happiness that you acquire from the actions that you have done, what happens is that you will find calmness. You will feel serenity, the calmness, the bodily calmness. And this bodily calmness simply becomes because all things that you have done that bringing you physical comfort. That's called a kaya viveka. Yeah? So the physical body feels happy, physical body feels calmness. And with this calmness of the physical body, the mind becomes calm. It's called a chitta passaddhi. When mind becomes a calm, now here, this mind and the body become a calm and collected and happy. And that's simply because you have put an effort sufficient enough that brings happiness to yourself. And it's like a simile is given when you are walking on a desert, very sunshine and so hot, and you're very thirsty. At that moment, you are having a trouble. No? You are having a pain in your body and in your mind. The body is pain because of the thirsty, and then the mind basically struggle. The very moment when you drink water, how do you feel? Mind feels so relaxed. And body feels relaxed, calmness. Calmness of the body and calmness of the mind arises through the calmness of the joy of having done something which you like it, which you have done good thing. And with this calmness, what happens? Mind automatically become concentrated. You don't have to think of, oh, I need to concentrate. Oh, I need to meditate. No. It just comes. It's there, you're doing it. And your mind is already happy. And the first happiness you will receive at that time, in the beginning to experience it's a momentary happiness to begin with. Each time you experience this calmness, your mind is enjoined in, collected, and happy. So the concentration is a momentary concentration you're achieving. Momentary concentration you are experiencing. It's called a Kanika Samadhi. And after that, as you develop the second level of concentration, you will attain, and that's called Upachara Samadhi. So it's excess, ability to maintain longer in the concentration. And the last one called Apana Samadhi, which is the first jhana factor, the first jhana, the attainment of the first, the jhana, the upachara, the excess concentration, attainment concentration. And this attainment concentration, what happens is that you have achieved the first jhana, which is vitaka vichara piti sukha ekagata. And this is what needs to be developed, see? And that is the energy part, the samma vayama, or the right effort. So we are applying a right effort to develop the sections that needs to develop for our own good in this life, as well as for the spiritual gain. And this vitaka vichara piti sukha eka gatha, the 5 factors of the first jhana will attain by one person. Now here, and this is the samadhi section, the concentration. Now again, not just here we stop by attaining the first jhana. We have to develop further on. We have to cultivate further on to attain the upeka, or the equanimity. And here, equanimity, not that, once we have attained this first jhana and we are staying there and we are feeling, ecstasy and just completely in a balanced mind. No. In order to attain this first, the last upekha, or the equanimity, we have to go through all these jhanas until the fourth jhana. So first jhana, we have a vitaka vichara piti sukha ekaggata, and then a second jhana, piti sukha ekaggata, vitaka vichara piti sukha ekaggata. So gradually going into, and the piti fades away, and vitaka sukha and ekaggata, and then the third jhana is sukha and ekaggata, and the fourth jhana is upekha, the equanimity. And this equanimity is not just the equanimity, it has got the concentration states. And this is one pointed mind with the balanced mind. So that's why the upekha, the balanced mind or equanimity in Buddhism, is so deep and detailed that one has to practice in order to understand it. And this is the last factor, that you have attained the fourth jhanas. And after you have attained the fourth jhanas and your mind becomes so concentrated, one become a one-pointedness. And with that one-pointedness, what happens is that your mind become able to understand the things the way it is, and that's how you establish the equanimity. And the state of the equanimity is developed through understanding things as they truly are. So it's called vipassana jnana, right? Jnana upekha, the equanimity that known. So even before the practice of upekha, or equanimity practice, that's why once we have attained the first jhana, the appana samadhi, that is a conducive for the vipassana meditation. And once you have practiced this, gradually as you as you develop the jhanas at the last section, the fourth jhana, once you have attained, your mind become one-pointed. And then that one-pointedness, you're simply opening up your senses, allowing yourself to understand and ponder and understanding the things the way it is, things as they truly are. An ability to understand things as they truly are, which is the quality that developed through our cultivation, allows us to understand that everything is like this. And with that, you don't have to worry anything. Mind already establishes in the equilibrium. Mind becomes equanimous. There is no swaying into the liking or disliking, or pleasure or non-pleasure. Simply accept it as they are, an ability to maintain the balanced mind. So that is the further development that we need to develop. And this factor, the enlightenment factor that we have to develop, it is not just for the spiritual gain, but also when we look at it in our day-to-day life, we can link it so well. And as I said yesterday, the 7 factors of enlightenment, when we look at it carefully, the 3 first factors are basically you are doing, and the 4 later, the 3 factors which you are doing is you strive to be mindful of what's going on, and you investigate on that whatever you are experiencing into good or bad. And that you can do by your effort, that you're putting energy to investigate on that properly. And with that clear investigation, the rest of other 4 qualities will develop. The joy, the joy happens, the calmness begins, and then the concentration develops. And then with that, simply you will be able to keep your mind in balance. So that's why this is the higher factors that we need to develop. And this factor, once developed, it brings happiness and joy and the real happiness that leads to the liberation. That's why it is known as the factors of enlightenment. So I offer this as a tonight's reflection. May you be well and happy, and thank you everyone for listening. And with the blessings of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, may you be well and happy. Thank you and good night.